right, welcome, traders to what is this? Tuesday, August 10th, 2021. This is the exponential market review for Tuesday, 8/10/2021. Now we had some incredible exponential movement. We had the NASDAQ gapping down hard off of consecutive days of a bullish move. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I think something's going on because in the same token, not only did the NAS reverse, we had the Dow pushing back up, something kind of crazy. I mean, crazy. It made some numbers today. I mean, 162 points or more, something like that. The thing took off, bro. I don't know what's going on. I don't know anything. I don't know how this works. And then we had the S&P just gain, do a mild gain, and it held up. So usually when the Dow comes up, that's commodities, and that's fears of economic, delusion or stability. I don't know, something like that. So we're going to jump right into it. All right, we had a couple of stocks on watch. What are the stocks we had on watch? I know I called out ZEV I called out. And man, let's get right into it. ZEV, I love the ZEV. ZEV in the pre-market actually had this gap up from 650 and held at 850. The next 5 minutes it gapped up and went to $9 and it held. It never tested. It went down a little bit at 8 o'clock, but that's just market noise. And I actually seen it hold and I said, nobody's selling here. And I actually brought some shares and I said, I'm not leaving. I'm gonna come back to this and I'll deal with it after. So I wound up taking half profit over $10 and then I took the rest off at 11. Got back in and then a quick pop higher and I got back out and I was done with the trade. I told myself no more, but the trade actually wound up going up to $12. After that, it double topped and then it reversed and slid back down to $9.50 or $10 average. And then it hung out and went right back up to 12 and actually 12, a little bit higher than 12. And right now it's hovering around 11.22. Incredible trade. I told myself, I think this is going to get option calls because this is EV sector. They had news that they were going to, what was the news on this one today? It was analyzing Lightning Motors, unusual options activity. And they had some orders, I believe, for some EV equipment or something like that. I'm not exactly sure. But Zev, let me see, Zev is here. Zev has news. Here's the news. Buses and Buffett charging. So Zev is up on Buffett-backed bus maker, Lightning soars. So that's what Zev is. So it's Buffett backed. So it had everybody in their panties about buying it. So it's the ZEV, I would keep on watch. ZEV, matter of fact, people's buying it and people are doing option calls on it, a lot of option calls. And if you look right here, the 220 ZEV, I liked the buying in the pre-market because it was strong and it held up. And I liked the buying at the bell. By the time 9:30 came around, this thing was smoking. And it dipped a little bit. It came out of like 1050, 10, and it pulled back to 950, but it held. It held its 20 moving average. But then after that, it just took off. It just went, pew. So it went from $10 to $12, guys, in a matter of 15 minutes, 20 minutes. That's a strong trade. You could have stayed with it all day, and it held up well. I like ZEV. What was the next ticker? The next ticker, I think, was called out. Let's go to the chat. Let's see what the chat says.
That was the AMHI?
I think so.
AMPI.
AMPI?
Yeah, I think so.
Don't think. I need you to know.
I don't know anything.
Okay, I had IMV, but that trade didn't wind up going too far. I actually got out at 230 from a $2 average. And what else was called out? KXIN or LPO? Oh, so Zev?
No,
FULC. Let's go with that. Thank you.
FULC.
There you go. There you go. Look at this one. FULC, another spectacular trade that held up incredibly well. Look at this thing. So in the pre-market, this thing came out of under $10, around 9 and some change. No, actually $8. It woke up, and for whatever reason, this stock I think had what was it? It was news about it was therapeutics. What is this? Fulcrum Therapeutics stock. Fulcrum says hot. Let me see earnings. Unusual options activity, healthcare. I saw it today. Okay, it's a lot of news. But that news came in, I think I think it's a sickle cell disease, a phase 1 study. So just on a phase 1 study, phase 1, that keyword is a keyword, phase 1. Phase 1, 2, 3, these are keywords that get stocks moving. And sure enough, this thing near the 220 moving average, it just pops up at 8 o'clock and goes over $10. I like things over $10. Usually when things go over $10, sometimes it gets to skipping. Not all the time, but it gets to skipping. This one too, I think we had, let me see, let me go to the option chain here. I think they're here. Yup. We had an incredible amount, 300% and higher volume of FLCU, option calls. So this thing, by the time the bell rings, this thing dips too. It went from wow, look at this. It went from $10 in the pre-market around 8, from $9, $10. It skips up to $12 and goes to $14 in the pre-market. Then it sells off around 9 o'clock, all the way back down to 12 from 14. By the time the bell rings, look at this candle here. The volume comes in. So that made me bullish on this one. I got hella bullish, right? This candle right here. It sells off, but it doesn't go down. It holds 12 and it's holding the 20. So by the time this came around, I said, you know what? This look good. I'm gonna get with this. This thing took off. This thing just took off. Let me see. Did I take this trade? I did not take this trade. Oh, I actually took Zev and another trade. Zev and AHPI I took.
I actually took a short on it.
On this one. Okay.
Yeah. Go back to the daily.
Let me go
back. Not the daily, sorry. No. 5 minutes.
Look at this. Okay, so this was incredibly long. I was actually telling people to get long, and I think Germ called it out. And I was like, this thing is fire. And he said it was going to probably go to $20. And I was like, all right, here you go with these crazy numbers. I was teasing him, but he was actually right. Look at this thing. It went from $12.
I took the short on the reversal.
I see a reversal at 16 here. You got 2 5-minute reversals.
No, I took the reversal, the first reversal.
At the first one. So you talk about at the bell, it actually a lot of profit takers, right, and nobody was buying at the time, and option calls wasn't coming in. So it actually dipped. So we have a reversal at 13.50.
Down to
and a confirmation at 13, and it dips to a low of 12.20 or something like that. 12,
yeah, I took that ride right there.
And you profited?
Yes, yeah, I was good with that one.
So that's a lot of range. We talking about a real entry, 13.29, 13.30, all the way down to 12. We talking about a whole dollar. A whole dollar with the right of share count. You can make a day's pay, and just this one trade on at the bell, a lot of volume going to the downside, you get out of there. But it started soaking. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-minute candles, which is 25 minutes of staying at the same price. And then a green candle coming, the volume comes in. And then we seen the option calls. And then it's like, I think it's getting options. That's a sentiment reversal. And then you get this big giant candle. What is this one? From 12.70 right up to 13.92. Jeez.
Then the party started.
Going. And hold on, if I wasn't mistaken, I think they halted. Let me go back to here's the halt. Let me go to the halt scanner. FLCU hit the halt scanner the first time at 12:02 at 13.93. Look at that. So that was a halt. That tells me go long. This shit is hot. Option calls is coming in. I'm about to get this money. I didn't even take this trade because I was on another trade. And it was exciting though. And this was on the gap scanner. This was like, I don't know if it was number 2, 3, 4.
3.
It was number 3. Super hot. FULC. Yeah. I would keep my eye on it. It was so strong. I think it'll pull back because it's a crazy range, but also it's probably room for continuation. You never know. Just you want to write these tickers down and just keep tracking them because this is exponential movement. When I see the market doing things like this, prepare for things to start heating up. Even though the Nasdaq is red today, and exponentially it moved down aggressively, which is you want to keep track of that too. You know, you want to look at your positions, you want to manage your portfolio, you want to manage how you want to think about trading. So that's that one. And it wound up topping out over here at $20, $21, tapping almost 22. Then it got back down to 18, which is a great range. We're talking about from $8, $9 up to $22 in one day, in one session. Dude.
I call that at 9 o'clock.
Like the money is in the Zoom. Like, I don't know what you're doing with your lives out there, but we calling them out every day. They hear. Like, some of them don't get posted. You got to be sitting here patient and wait for the action that is ideal for you. I think the third one, what's the next ticker? I think it was another top gapper.
AHPI.
AHPI was actually down on the list. But let me go to it right now since Juice wants to look at that one.
Nah, that was fire this morning.
It was definitely fire, bro. I was like, yo, that was the one actually I actually jumped on, and AHPI. This is AHPI is a usual suspect, by the way. AHPI could get going. Why do I say that? Let's go to the daily. There was a time AHPI went from $2 to $45. Help me.
How?
So Houseway, this thing could fly. So when AHPI came up today, let me just go back to, I guess, the 5 minute, because that's the one we really work from an intraday and at the bell to try to just get a good range of what's going on. So at 8:30, this thing just like at 10:50 just started walking up on low volume. So I didn't think nothing of it, but at 9:30 at the bell, this thing pops up just before the bell. It pops up to $13 and then it gaps back down to $12. But then at the bell, it has a lot of volume right here. It comes in. You see this right here? This volume just comes in. And we talk about from $12 and skips to $13. And what time is that around? 9:30?
9:30, 9:35.
9:35. And that's let me see. Did it ever halt?
Nah.
It didn't. It didn't halt. So all right. So AUPH didn't halt. So guess what? I seen this thing. You can see you see my chart here. I got levels here where I actually brought. I had to buy this candle as it was squeezing up from 12 to 13. I brought some in between at 12.73, and then I sold some at 13.79, and that was just excellent. From 12.33 to 13.79 is a dollar move, like on a strong indication off of a 220 moving average. Here's the 200, here's the 20, and it was just volume coming in at the bell, and I waited for the trade to set up. So I'm watching it. It did a pullback, and I watched strong volume come in, and it's textbook to me. It's like it's a signal. The trade might not work out, but the signal just says, dude, do you want this money? And I said, yeah, I want this money. So I bought a trade, and it wound up working out. And I actually shorted it as well. This thing pops up, and I'm noticing it's running out of gas near 15. Now, this is a dangerous stock to short to try to make money on the downside. But I actually take a position up here at 1480 because I've seen a couple of top and tail candles on the 5 minute. So I said, you know what? This is a usual suspect. It's known to get running. It doesn't have the volume where it can go to $45, but it can. But I think it's going to back off. Either it's going to work or it's not going to work. So I like the odds. The action was a little whippy, but I wound up gapping back down on a strong red candle from 15 straight down, and I took profit over here at 1388, and I left. And I took the rest off at 13.99, something like that, and I left. Good thing I left because it went back up to $15, $16. I would have been squeezed and choked out, and I would have had to stop out. Even though if I stayed with that trade, look at this, all the way back down to $11. Now imagine I shorted at 1488 with just 200 shares or whatever shares I used. and it went back down to 11. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 88. We're talking about $600, $700 just being patient. Trade setting up, the volume is dropping. The range was good enough. We talking about $5, $6 range. It's got to give some of that back, right? It damn near gave the whole thing back. So HPI, great trade long, great trade short. Depending on your style, you can make money. This is just phenomenal. Like the money you can make. What's next? What's next? I don't know what's next. It's really that simple. I think what FSR I think popped up. It had an incredible move. FSR. That
FSR got busy today.
Huh?
FSR got busy today too.
FSR. Here go FSR. Yesterday it popped up from $15, hovered around 16, 17 at the bell. It didn't have a lot of volume, but it was due to squeeze. So we talking about from 9:30, it was at 18, it squeezed all the way up to 19 real fast, and then it actually settled down and gave it back. We had 18.28 right now at the close, but it went down. The low was 17.30. So it chopped around. So FSR is still hot though. I think FSR got room. Keep it on your list. FSR, I think it can make a move. And it's still ascending. As you can see, this chart has an ascending pattern here where the 200 is rising. And I like it. FSR is a usual suspect, by the way. And it's just blazing, man. I was just like, damn.
I got a short list somebody sent me. See if we can go over it a little bit.
Sure.
All right, it's we got IMV.
IMV. Now I called this out in the pre-market, and it was good for that pre-market move from 181. Again
to 230. You called it at 230, and then that's
in the morning. No, I actually called it out at 8 o'clock.
I was talking about the price.
No, IMV. I called it. I left at 230.
Yeah.
So when it went up there, as you can see, you got two 5-minute candles with a double top, and you got strong volume at 8. That was like 8 or something time in the morning. And I leave when I see things like that. I say, you know what? I think it's done, and it was done for that time frame. Later on, it actually squeezed back up after the bell. It went to a low back to $2 and then went back to 240. But then after that, it gave that back right back down to 181. So long and short again, low. I call this low hanging fruit IMV, and I think it jumps because of some news of ovarian cancer candidate. They had a 44% survival rate from their therapeutics or something like that. Some news. So it's still a great trade from 190. Me, I was able to catch it at 210, and to squeeze up to 230, a 20-cent move is still good money. The right share count, you can make some good money. It's a lot of stocks here.
HBI.
Which one?
HBI.
HBI?
Yeah.
HBI, look at this trend. It had no volume. HBI had no volume, but it went from 1930 to 2021, and it's slowly moving up. And Hanes Brands obviously is underwear. Is this the company Hanes?
I'm not sure.
You got an ascending pattern here off the 200, and it's not typically what musclehead traders do. We're day traders. We go after hot stuff that's, as you can see, $5, $6, $20, $10. We like crazy things. This is bouncing though off the low, and it is a value stock, I think. But the market capitalization and the float might be huge. Just what I thought. It's 344 million shares exchanged, so it's going to take a lot of money for this thing to keep moving. This is a play that somebody would be thinking about. They know this brand. They're thinking about it's cheap, and it could probably go back up. They're thinking wealth and long term. I would not try to do this to make income. This is not an income-driven stock. Let me go to the daily. Here's the daily chart, and as you can see, from $8, and actually it's pretty good from April, from $8 all the way up to $22, and that's in 1 year. So from 8 to 22 is good range for a seasonal move. You know, if you trading for 4 quarters, and if you was in this position seasonally, I would say this is a area where you might want to take profit. And actually, you've seen it at $22. It got back down to 20, then it got back down to 18. So there are profit takers right now, but it's holding the 200 on the daily gap up right now, which I like. So it's still ascending, and it possibly could be a move higher. But yeah, this is Haynes brand, and they're definitely a household name. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. There's definitely option calls on this, and the volume is heavy, and it needs to be thick for it to really be significant to do a significant move. Right now, you're not going to get that right now because it's not that type of stock that I see. These household name brands, unless they're like the super tech ones, they don't move as aggressive as the ones we call out. But this is a great trade if you had it from last year to now in this range. I would be looking to take profits around 20 or for a higher move, maybe over 22 to 24, but I wouldn't hang out that long because that's just me. But for some people, this is a great trade. You know, they could buy at 10, 14, and 8 and be out at 20 at those moves because these are good profit taking territories that I would trade it at. But right now you got convergence on the 20 and the 200. So right now I would wait. Either this needs to move higher or it could gap lower and test 18 and break the 200 on the daily chart, and then it'll move lower to 17 or 16 possibly. But I don't see that happening right now. Right now you got outstanding option calls coming in for it. So they got targets to $26. There's a Barclays mains are overweight on Haynes brand, raises the price target to $26, and that was 4 days ago. So they got a price raise on it. So I think usually when they do these price raises, that's a keyword to make a retail trader, us, you and I, to buy it. And then when it gets near that price, the banks and the hedge funds that own it are selling it. So just keep that in mind. When it gets to that price target that they call for 26, they're selling. And you want to, as you can see, you got up here at $22. It went up there and then it got back down. So that was, and you see a lot of sales. You see this candle right here? Over 20 million shares exchanged on that day when it gapped up and got back down. So that means the hedge funds were selling because those are the guys who got that much shares on that day. We don't got 22 million shares to exchange. So it's got to be the boys. So just realize that they have orders up there. There's orders up there at 20, 22. It might be some orders here at 20 and 21. And you see that you got two top and tails, but it gapped up here. You know, but what's next?
NEGG, one of our favorites already.
NEGG, I love this stock. But damn, look what happened on the daily. NEGG squeezed up from $10 past $70. And now it's squeezing back up. Let's go to the daily chart. Let's go to the 15-minute and see what happened today. Nothing. All right, so it's gapping down. It's running out of gas. It gapped down. It's still gapping down. And it caught the lows and gapped back up from 17 and squeezed back up to 20. But as you can see, it's chopping around. I wouldn't take this trade unless it breaks back above $22 right here, and it might make another move higher. But right now, it looks like it's ready to actually crash back through the 200. So as you can see, it gapped up and it's riding this 200 moving average wave, but it crashed on it and now it gapped up a little bit. I would take a short. I'm looking for it to gap back down right now, Newegg. But I love Newegg. But e-com with computer equipment, right now with the market being shaky, I would bet against that. Just me. And I would wait for this to set up again. But right now, it was hot for now. But as you can see, it's cooled off. It's cooled off dramatically. You know, from that daily move that we had, it's looking. This is a hard sell. There's so many people getting off. Yeah, I wouldn't touch this for a while. I mean, I love it. It was a great trade when it was hot. But as you can see, I traded it. I shorted it. I was on the backside. I waited for this action to finish, and then I shorted it here, down to here. I shorted it down to here. I hit it here, and then I got out here. So I played it short on the back end. And then I got off because it was near the 20. I didn't know how I was going to behave, but I could have held it a couple of more days and a whole nother $10 move. With 1,000 shares, that's $10,000, guys. But I'm just saying. But yeah, what's next?
EJH.
What?
EJH.
EJH. EJH popped up in the aftermarket here today. and it's giving back the move from 560. It really didn't do anything to in my opinion. 480 up to 560, back down to 515. I mean, you could keep it on watch for tomorrow. It's an household home service holdings, 11 mil float. It's a deal transfer to buy comprehensive exponential area home service. Yeah, it's no volume. This is not a trade to me. It's no signal for me to say if it's going to do anything. This is not. I wouldn't even look at this, to be honest with you. This would not even be on my radar. Next.
NAOV.
NAOV. Cheap stock. It's not going
get,
anywhere.
I didn't get to go over the list. I'm just redoing it live. I didn't get to go over the
list. Yeah, we're going it live. It doesn't matter. NAOV was hot, over $1. It went to $3, $3.50. It's gapped back down to $2.25. I would move on. I think the volume is receding. As you can see, the volume, they got it up there. It needs to maintain that type of volume to push it higher, and we're not getting that. It could be a play. The float is 22 mil, 21 mil. You know, they got some news about Australia is going to start receiving their stuff, and I think New Zealand or something like that was taking their goods, so it's approved. But you got to ask yourself, if the big boys wanted this, it would be a lot more spending. It'd be a lot more buying. And right now, you don't see that. Yes, it broke out from this low pattern under $1, but I would wait for this to claim over 350 first. It got to break back over 350, and then it might be hot. But right now, I would not be looking at this. Next.
COEX.
COEX.
No, CODX.
CODX Codex. This is a usual suspect. It had a little breakout from 950 today to 1040. Actually gave back almost the whole entire move. This is one I keep on watch, but there's nothing saying look at this and hey, trade me. Not yet. But it is a usual suspect. It can get moving. CODX. Codex actually we used to trade this aggressively.
The
Codex,
daily looks good.
Huh?
The daily looks like it's like an uptrend.
Well, you got to break back through the 200 here on the daily. This is not an uptrend yet. There's no you're below the 200 where the price is. You see this right here? Okay. So it's no signal for no long trade at all. It is ascending right now from 7 to lows. So what you do have is some lows right here that's helping you out right now. So if we had to put a trend line on this. Here you have a low right here, and then you got a ascending low, and it's making higher lows. But the trade confirmation is when it breaks through this 200. As you can see, it had a day here where it broke through the 200, which is the ceiling, which is the resistance, and it got back down. So what's the signal right now? People still selling. They still shook. And you got some value investors buying this right here, which is cool, but it's no volume. It broke through. It had a little volume, but it's no volume. Nothing came in yet. Nothing's happening. Okay, what got it up there, that volume is not here yet. So you got to combine these indicators and make smart decisions basically. Not what you feel or I think is coming up. Here we have a moving average telling you what the conditions are. And it's still, what is it doing? Descending. It's still going down. Until that changes, it's not, to me, I don't even want to see this type of stock. It doesn't attract me at all. Next. At least not yet.
What out here? NRBO.
NRBO?
Yeah.
No, what is it? NRBO. Okay, yeah. NRBO has some pop and drops, not much range. It's a descending daily pattern, and it was going a couple last year. 2 times it was going real fast, but right now it's still a dead play to me. I don't see anything that I would want to be stimulated by. And not even today. It had a quick pop and drop, no volume. It's a dead play to me. Anything else?
VINO. VINO.
VINO. Vino. It looks flat. Flat trade. Nothing today. No action. These are not trades of today. This is nothing exponential yet. Next. This is actually no volume. If you own it, I would cut. Next. That's it. Up juice.
CARV.
Oh, CARV. Yeah, we seen that made a move today. Yeah, CARV is ascending. I would buy. See, you got an ascending pattern. It's got no volume, by the way, but it is going up. That means nobody's selling and little people are getting in. So I would, if it gets any type of news, I think we can get a squeeze.
It's the float is real low. It's under a
Real low,
million.
so it's known to get moving. Here, let me go to the daily chart. CARV is known to get moving, okay? It is known to run, I mean fast. But we haven't had that in a while, and we haven't had the volume that made it run in a while that fast. So, but you do have a couple of days here where it's gapping up, so I would roll the dice. If you had a little bit of money here, I would put a little bit on there. Like just
it's sizing up. It's sizing up to go.
It's sizing up. Yeah, it's making a move. Anything you want to add to that?
Nah.
I mean, you know, it's a usual suspect. CARV can get moving and get you some money, but you got to be patient. You got to wait for the event to happen. An event to me is something that gets moving more than $2 to $3, and now it's hot, and we got to watch it because it's exciting. It's got to be exponential in the movement. And right now we had a nice move in the last 2 days. You know, from under 15, 14, gap up to 19. That's a pretty significant move. Today it held that position. I want to see what happens in the rest of the week. It might get moving. What's next?
That's it for me.
All right. Anybody else got any other tickets I want to call out? Other than that,
I don't have a ticket, but I have a question.
Oh, you got a question? What's your question, sir?
Something I've been looking at lately was the RSI. Is that something that, or would that be something that you use to guide to see if a stock is going to move at a certain period?
Sounds like a training session. It sounds like you need a private training.
Okay.
Anybody got any stock they want me to look at? Anybody got any stocks? Sound like you want some codes. You want me to pass you some codes?
What had happened
was those codes are locked up right now. I got to get some code. I got to get the codes to actually get the codes. I got to get the codes to open the safe to get the codes. I hear you. You studying. This is a great student, by the way, guys. Chris is an excellent student because he asks questions. But that's something we need to sidebar because it's going to get in depth.
Okay.
And now you want me to give you codes for free. And you know me, I'm expensive. You know this.
What's going to cause? It's going to cause more questions.
It's going to cause more questions. Yeah, you're going to ask me to open up a rabbit hole. And
questions.
Right now, I got to refill I need a refill of my medication to do that. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that right now. Oh, DDD. Do we talk about it? 3D data systems. I've been bullish on this for months right now. I've been telling Juice to accumulate this thing. And as you can see, oh, look at this DDD. Look at me. I got data on this thing. Look at this thing. So DDD, here's a signal. We had a bunch of volume come in and push this thing from 20 to 24. And I said, we need to get long right here. We have a divergence in this intersecting line of the 20 and the 200 at a perfect spot. And you see my chart drawing. It's a pretty circle and an oval. An oval in the volume right here for the over 43 million shares exchanged that day. Over 60 million shares exchanged that day. And then I had said, buy, your guys got to get long. This thing is going to break out. And from $22, we at $40. And now we're back down to $24. God damn. And today we at what? $34.80. So it got back up today and went to $40. Let's look at it. Because I know that these people know what time it is. Look at three. Look, it went to $40. It's trying to reclaim where it belonged. From where? $32. So we talking about, wow. And it gapped up from yesterday from $29. 3D data systems, I think, is a long-term hold. I don't know who's got it in their portfolio, but the option calls came in crazy. This thing was going all day. Let's put on the 5-minute chart. This thing was all day. It didn't stop. It was nonstop. So these guys at the bell, this is the bell. See, 9:30. And here's the 200, here's the 20. And this thing just gapped up from $32 straight to $35 at the bell, 9:30. So, and then it never went back down. We said, get long, a lot of volume in option calls. Let me correct y'all. A lot of volume in option calls. So an option can get the stock moving too. People wasn't really buying it, but they were taking options out of it in extreme amounts. So this thing just kept pushing from 9:30. It kept going to 12:30. You could have took a trade and went to work, went to the gym, forgot, took a crap, and before you know it, bow. You know, I just don't understand this. Like, so it sold off because the option calls stopped coming in, and it damn near gave back the whole entire move. But it's an incredible trade. You can't front. Like, and DDD was just ringing on the scans today, like hard. So I don't know. It's just a phenomenal day. ORPH keeping on. MDIA. Did we forget this one? MDIA. This was skipping up too. We had a low of 750 at the bell, 220. This thing pushes up on low volume, but still it was holding this 20 moving average, and it was a little choppy, but it just kept pushing from $758 up to 10, up to $11, and it's actually held the price of $11. You might want to keep this one watching tomorrow for MDIA. I don't know what the hell this stock do. I don't know what they do. I don't care. I'm just trading the action. The float is mad low. It's like a 2 mil float or something like that, 1.7 mil. Stupid. I mean, just the money got hit, man. It's just money. Today was just an exponential day to me. I don't got no more to say. I got other tickers I could keep going over, but you get the point. We got enough stickers we covered today. I think I'm done. I had enough. Anybody got any other statements they want to say? This recap is over. Say hi to the baby. Hey, baby. And Juice is talking and we can't hear a word.
Because I ain't got the mic on as usual.
He can't hear a word.
Jerem got the baby.
Guru here in a little bit.
Biggest gainers. Zev. So again, FLC, ZEV, MDIA, ORPH. Here we got, what is this? DDD, FSR. Look at CRTX. This is a big stock, over $100, but it gapped up and that got cooking. CRTX. HRMY was smoking, I think, earlier on a gap down. Let me see. Yeah, it gapped up from 27 bucks up to 32, and then it's gapped back down. So that was hot, and that was HRMY. Look at this one, AGFI. Now AGFY got smoking, $24 up to 27. It's just great moves. BRP. Look at this one, BRP. From 28 bucks, it gapped up, and then at the bell, it started smoking at $30, flipped to 32, near 34. Just stocks, man. Just moving. Yeah, well, that's it. I hope you guys got some information from that exponential market movement. NASDAQ pulled back almost 100 points. Dow Jones Industrial gapped up severely, which is commodities. A lot of commodities is in there. So we talking about value investors is moving and making their move. So this is going to be a forecast for the future. There's going to be the tech sector and innovation is going to diverge, and a lot of household names is going to diverge lower, I think. And the Dow Jones, meaning we got to prepare for real estate, land, commodities, water, inflation kicking back in, because now these people got to buy resources, natural resources and stuff like that. And that's where the big boys are putting their money. When the market moves up that hard, that's big boy movement. So they're buying those value stocks for the next 10 years, if I'm not mistaken. And we're looking at the economy doing some shaky stuff. Guaranteed. You heard it here first, though. Other than that, I think I'm done.
NUE.
You bastard. What is it?
NUE.
NUE. He always got something. NUE, look at this. No volume at all, but this thing just...
It's a germ special.
108, NUE, incredible stock. I actually like this ticker. This thing is over $100. The float is capitalized real heavy. It's 297 million share size, but we're going to go into the 200. And as you can see, the 200 moving average, it was a great bounce pivot right on the 200 moving average line at $50, and it's just been riding this 28 moving average wave like for hard. So we're talking about since February up until August, this thing is on fire. And it's probably going to keep going, like not for nothing. This thing is smoking, and it's smoking for a reason. All right, you better look into NUE, and it's just smoking right now, man. Let's put it over here. NUE. We'll find out what the sector is. NUE, and let me see. It's one of our master trader specials here. And these guys deal with sheet steel products, okay? They're operating in mills. They do carbon steel alloys, bars, structural, plate. So you know they're going to get that stimulus money. What is it? The structural money. The Joe Biden, you know, rail money and all that stuff. And they're already doing phenomenally well with iron and ore, with building. And they're located in Charlotte, North Carolina. So you know there's a good old boy state, you know, them good old boy. And manufacturing, man, and it seems like they're doing well, like steel fasteners, grinders, steel decks, fabricated stuff, concrete reinforcing steel, you know, cold finished steel. So we're talking about the creme de la creme of raw materials and steel, and that's infrastructure for the U.S. and wherever else. And just the chart, you look at the chart. The chart says it all. The chart says, hey, in 2021, you could tell the big boys knew where to place their bets, because they knew these guys are going to benefit from what's coming down the road. And we still, this is just the breakout. Kind of like on at 9:30, you see a stock breakout. Like, you know, all right, we see a strong bar. This is just the breakout. Let me show you why this is just the breakout. Let's do the monthly. As you can see, this just broke out. This is a monthly time chart, and it just broke out from this consolidated range, from a lower range, from $20. So this is just a 1, 2, 3, 4 candles just breaking out from 50 to 100. You can compare that to like a dollar move, huh? A 10 cent, a 30 cent move, a 50 cent move on a stock just getting moving. So you come back to this in another 3 years, these guys are probably going to be $300, $400. I'm just saying. So you got a great breakout right here. And this was right here, like I said, and this was in the new year. So for those value investors, this just happened in the new year. You know, it broke through the 200, and then you got this one that says from 50 to 60 says get in, get long, and that was in March or February, and after that it just started skipping 60 straight to 80, from 80 straight to 100. And now we had a little bit of stagnation right here from 110. You had some probably profit takers. It got back down there to 95, and then it skipped right back up over 100. Now it skipped right back from 104 to 118, and that bar is strong. That's bullish. I mean, that's bullish as it gets. So let's go back to the daily. As you can see, today we had a gap up, and for good reason. So we know what's coming. We know what's coming. So, you know, I would get long. You know, I would get long.
That infrastructure bill.
Well,
Just
yeah,
got
they
passed.
talking about it. They talking about it. So they're definitely talking about it. So, all right, what else? I mean, that's it. I'm trying to stretch my Zoom out. I was trying to make it 10 minutes, then 30 minutes, and now it's 45, 48 minutes.
It ain't my fault.
Yes, it is. It's all your fault. All right, man. Yo, man, I appreciate
What you think about Pfizer?
Here you go. Here you go. I don't even know what's the name of that company. I don't know what the thing.
I don't know what it is.
I was just talking about today. I don't know what Pfizer did. I don't know. I know what Moderna did. You want to talk about that? I know what Moderna did. And there's a lot of other stuff I can add to the Zoom, but I'm gonna cut it short. I'm deliberately dodging a lot of other movement that I want to talk about. That's just ridiculous.
What about GameStop? I want to talk about GameStop.
Oh boy. Here we go.
I want to talk about AMC.
Here we go. He's kidding, but we're gonna go to it.
No, we're not. Oh God.
All right. Is he kidding? I don't know.
I'm kidding. I don't want to look at that shit.
All right, no problem. He's off.
God bless. Good night.
All right, guys, man. Yo, here, listen. This is Musclehead Trading for Tuesday market review, exponential review, 8/10/2021, and it's been fun. Peace.